Chelsea are not prepped for the start of this season. We've got Cavan, who is a Chelsea fan and wants to talk about who they need to buy before the window shuts. Go ahead, Cavan.
Hi, Mark. Evening. So basically, we just, after today, Leeds were fantastic, ran us all over the park, totally deserved winners. We didn't look at it. Second ball every day, and it's really poor. So we need to improve our defence because, again, Loftus-Cheek, it works against Spurs really well, but against a team that press you all over the pitch and run you all over the pitch, it's never going to work. So it's quite obvious we need another defender. We lost two really good defenders, need another defender, and obviously it's been a problem for 3 seasons, and probably since we lost Diego Costa, a lack of number 9, and it's what we were known for when we had Drogba, we had Costa. We used to have a number 9 that used to bully you. No one used to like him, so that's what we're used to, and we haven't had it for years. So, and I just want to say, I don't think Aubameyang is the answer to that. He's not a bully of a forward. You scream at Lukaku was the answer to that, and he had everything that went wrong last season. And again, he showed promise for the first half, but it's just the same old story, really.
Thanks for calling in, Cavan. A concerned Chelsea fan, I think, there. And I haven't watched them. I think I missed the Everton game. I saw them against Spurs. I thought they should have won that game, and they didn't win the game because they didn't have anything up front. And I mean, obviously today they had nothing up front. They didn't score. I don't really get what Tuchel and Chelsea are trying to achieve as an outsider. I spoke to some Chelsea fans when Ronaldo was linked to them back in, late June. And they were humming and ahhing about whether they'd like Ronaldo. And I said, look, you can't have Ronaldo, but he would be perfect for Chelsea. You've got players who can put a cross in the box, which Manchester United don't do. And you do get the ball in and around the box a lot. And that's what Ronaldo doesn't get at United. He got 18 goals in a terrible Premier League season last year. And I think at Chelsea would have been perfect. And yeah, I'd sort of agree with Cavan. I'm not convinced that Aubameyang is the quality that you want to rely on when what are Chelsea's aspirations this season, I suppose? What are they looking to win the Champions League? Are they looking to challenge for the title? Because at the moment, I think they will be in a fight for 4th. And I said it a couple of weeks ago, I like Thomas Tuchel, and Chelsea fans do, but there's a very, very real chance that if they have more results like today, he will be sacked. Because what does a new owner like? They like to sack a manager and bring their own man in. So, look, I have sympathy with Chelsea. I think it's very difficult to go through what they went through last year and then have a good transfer window. Yes, they've got money, but I think they've got it wrong. I think they're spending a lot of money on the defence, and they don't look capable of scoring goals. They don't look like they're creating many chances. And really, major investment in the forward line is what I would expect. But Matthew's a Chelsea fan as well. He says, disgusted with the result today and wants to say who he thinks Chelsea should buy. Go ahead, Matthew.
Yeah, good evening, Jack. Hope you're well. I'm very, very, very disappointed, really. I'm repeating what I said earlier today to your production fella there. Why on earth are Chelsea hanging around, and not going for Ronaldo? He's available. Okay, all right, costs a lot of money in wages, but you get it back on shirt sales from, kids and stuff. I just don't get it. I don't understand why they've not gone for Ronaldo. And it disappoints me because I actually idolise Ronaldo, and, him or Messi, arguably the best players in the world. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, it's interesting, Matthew. Thanks very much for calling in. What I would say about Ronaldo is I think that ship has sailed, and I think Chelsea, from what I understand, Todd Bowley was very interested in Ronaldo. Why wouldn't you be? Probably for the same reasons Matthew were. And apparently Tuchel said no. Now, I don't know. That's the manager's choice. Tuchel's very good mates with Rangnick. Rangnick and Ronaldo clashed. 2 + 2 is 4, maybe 2 + 2 is 5. But there's no way Manchester United are going to give Chelsea Ronaldo now with a week and a half left of the window. That's the sort of deal that you begrudgingly do in late June, before pre-season. You get a bit of money off Chelsea and he goes to Chelsea. That's a deal that can't be done now. And I don't want Ronaldo to go, and I definitely didn't want him to go to Chelsea, but I'll tell you for free, if he'd have gone to Chelsea, he would have scored you 25 Premier League goals. Well, you probably won't have anybody do that this year. So I don't know why Tuchel said no, but he did. Owen, the Chelsea fan, has texted in. He says, "Hi, Mark. What do you think Chelsea need most? With Kante and Kovacic out in midfield, we look very disjointed. We're also lacking a clinical striker and a centre-back. I believe Kalidou Koulibaly is an absolute fantastic signing. And I really do think that it's the modern football fan, isn't it? I'm guilty of it as well. Martinez had it last week. I saw Jamie Carragher interviewing Ten Hag and saying, basically trying to make out he's a bad signing. It's like, it's just this flip-flop opinion that happens week in, week out. If Arsenal lose next week to Fulham, some Arsenal fans will be saying, "Tear out," and all that. It's just the way football goes. And Koulibaly was fantastic against Spurs. He had a bad game today. Welcome to the real world. It's not FIFA. You can have a bad game, and he's not a flop. He's a good signing, but there's an adjustment period. And today, I think Koulibaly is not used to the league. He probably thinks, I've played well against Spurs and Kane. I've settled in. We're off to Leeds. They're not very good. And he's completely... This happened with Ralf Rangnick as well. He said, I can't believe how good the teams are in the bottom half of the league, because in the Bundesliga, you play the teams in the bottom of the league and they're not that good. Well, maybe Koulibaly had the same thing today. Maybe he had a wake-up call to that. You can play Brighton and Leeds and they can be better than Spurs. So I think Koulibaly is a good signing, but I do think Chelsea are spending in the wrong area. Spending 60, 70 million pounds on centre-backs when you need a goal scorer. I mean, look at Everton. I think Everton defensively have done quite well. They just cannot score goals. 1 goal in 3 games, and they've played at Goodison Park twice. They've got a good defence. Cody and Tarkowski are good signings, but they just cannot score goals. Sometimes you're better off being a little bit weaker at the back if you've got a guy who can put the ball in the back of the net. And Chelsea at the moment, I don't think Raheem Sterling works as a striker for Chelsea. Stephen is a United fan. He says, I think it's time Ronaldo went to Chelsea because he's been useless at Manchester United. He's only played 1 game, mate, and it was against Brentford. And I tell you what, I could have played up front against Brentford and I got had the similar sort of game. There was no service there. Ronaldo, I don't want Ronaldo to go. We've got another caller, though. It's Pete. He's a Chelsea fan and he wants to talk about who they need to sign. Go for it, Pete.
Oh, that's that. Well, I mean, Brendan Aronson from Leeds, really, absolutely fabulous with that guy today against us, ripped us apart. And if anything, why haven't we got somebody like Victor Orta on each show, like Leeds have got?
Yeah. I mean, what if he's still there, Pete?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about Mason Mount. What's going on with him? I mean, I thought he was pretty fantastic player, but he's gone off the boil a bit.
He didn't show up all day. He didn't show up today. No, I mean, what's point in having him when you've got a team like Leeds that's got 6 signings coming in, all its first teams? How many have Chelsea got? You look at top of the table, there's Arsenal there, there's Leeds there, all big teams, Chelsea nowhere near.
Thanks, Pete. I think there's a big similarity, and I've been doing this transfer hub for a few weeks now, and there is a big similarity between Manchester United and Chelsea. Manchester United, run by the Glazers, panic buying, chaos, and it impacts the start of the season. Chelsea, new owner, basically trying to buy players, bit of conflict with the manager, not prepared for the start of the season. I mean, Chelsea have got 4 points, to be fair, but I think Chelsea fans are concerned about you've just been comprehensively beaten by Leeds, haven't you?